BRM has had loads of success in the United States. We've taken 3 wins there, all of which were at the horribly dangerous Watkins Glen. Graham Hill took the win at the 1963 United States Grand Prix, leading a BRM 1-2 ahead of his American teammate Richie Ginther. No other BRM cars ran in the race, so it truly was a perfect weekend. He then won once again 1 year later at the 1964 Grand Prix. His teammate Ginther finished in 4th. This race was notable for being the last race ever where 2 drivers shared a car. Jim Clark and Mike Spence shared a Lotus. Hill made it 3 in a row in the United States when he won the 1965 Grand Prix. This was a much less perfect race for BRM, as Hill's teammate Jackie Stewart retired on lap 12 with a suspension failure. Along with all those Grand Prix victories, we have run many amazing American drivers. Here's our top 4. Harry Schell was born on June 29, 1921 in Paris, France. Despite being born in France, he raced under the American flag. His first race for BRM was at the 1958 Monaco Grand Prix, where he finished in 5th. His first podium came 1 race later at the 1958 Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort, where he led a BRM 2-3 ahead of his teammate John Beha. This was BRM's first time on the podium. In his final 2 years in Formula 1, he would never top that result. Sadly, Harry died in practice for a non-championship event at Silverstone on May 13, 1960. His car slid into the mud on the side of the track and lost the wheel. The car somersaulted and penetrated the safety barrier. Before his death, he had been extremely vocal in the promotion of the roll bar on European racing cars, a safety feature that was required in America. By 1961, roll bars were mandated in Formula 1. Dan Garnier was born on April 13, 1931 in Port Jefferson, New York. His first race for BRM was at the 1960 Monaco Grand Prix, where he retired on lap 44 with a suspension problem. In his 1 season with BRM, the best finish he could muster was only a 10th place at the 1960 British Grand Prix at Silverstone. The rest of his racing career only went uphill from there. He finished his Formula 1 career with 4 wins and 19 podiums. He was not only famous for being a great American Formula 1 driver, but also for starting many traditions in motorsport. After winning the 1967 24 Hours of Le Mans with AJ Foyt, the 2 of them sprayed champagne on the podium while celebrating. At the 1968 German Grand Prix, he became the first ever race driver to use a full-face helmet in a Grand Prix. He also became the first of 3 drivers, the others being Mario Andretti and Juan Pablo Montoya, to win a race in sports cars, Formula 1, NASCAR, and IndyCar. After his retirement from motorsport in 1970, Dan devoted himself full-time to his role as a car maker and team owner. He is now mostly retired in California, but still shows up to historical events and races. Richie Ginther was born on August 5, 1930 in Granada Hills, California. Before joining BRM, he was somewhat successful with Ferrari, scoring 4 podiums. His first race for BRM was at the 1962 Dutch Grand Prix, where he retired on lap 71 after an accident. His first podium for BRM came 3 races later at the 1962 French Grand Prix at Rouen, where he finished in 3rd. At the 1962 Italian Grand Prix, he finished 2nd behind his champion teammate Graham Hill, being the first of 4 1-2s for BRM's highly successful Hill-Ginther pairing. He left BRM after 1964 to join Honda, where he took his first win in the 1965 Mexican Grand Prix. After an accident and an attempt to qualify for the 1967 Indianapolis 500, he immediately retired from motorsports. Sadly, just days after a BRM reunion in Donington, Richie died of a heart attack while on holiday in France on September 20, 1989. He was 59 years old. Bobby Unser was born on February 20, 1934 in Colorado Springs, Colorado. He is probably more well known for his 35 IndyCar wins, but he had a short stint in Formula 1, attempting to start 2 races in 1968, both for BRM. His first race was at the 1968 Italian Grand Prix, but he, along with Mario Andretti, was excluded from the results because he had raced in the United States within 24 hours of the race finish. His only other Formula 1 race was at the 1968 United States Grand Prix at Watkins Glen, where he returned on lap 35 with an engine problem. He eventually returned from motorsports after a long legal battle after the 1981 Indianapolis 500. After retirement, he commentated on lots of kart races in the 1980s, which also starred another retired athlete named Bruce Jenner as the pit reporter. Bobby is still involved in historic motorsports events today, but he is mostly retired.